Hello, I am Jessie. Through this video, I'm going to share some information about Cambridge Primary Checkpoint for the subject Science. The code for this paper is 0846. The scope of questions for this paper can be divided into three main fields. Students will be questioned on chemistry topics, physics topics, as well as biology topics. The questions for physics are taken from various topics, such as from the topic of forces and motion, electricity and magnetism, light, sound, and the earth and beyond. Now, students learn about these topics from lower primary and they consolidate their learnings further in year 6 on these topics. Topics for biology are such as humans and animals, plants, and living things in their environment. Whereas questions for chemistry are taken from the topics states of matter, material changes, and material properties. Again, all of these topics are taught from lower primary and students carry forward each year with more added knowledge till they reach year 6. There are 2 component papers for Cambridge Primary Checkpoint Science in year 6. Students will write for paper 1 and for paper 2. Students should note that paper 1 consists of structured questions and the time duration for this paper is 45 minutes and a total of 50 marks will be awarded. For paper 2, the format is the same as in paper 1 science, whereby in paper 2, students write structured questions. The time limit is 45 minutes and the marks awarded is also 50 marks. Now, students may wonder, so what's the difference between paper 1 and paper 2? The difference is paper 2 has more experiment-based type of science questions. Now, let us have a look at some examples of past year questions for Cambridge Checkpoint Science Year 6. Now, this is an example of a paper 1 physics question on the topic electricity. Now, the question goes like this. It says, draw a line to connect the type of electrical component to the correct symbol. So, students are required to know the correct symbol for the electrical component. For example, for switch, the correct symbol for switch will be this one. For wire, the correct symbol is this one. The lamp or bulb, this will be the symbol. For cell, this is the symbol. And for resistor, this is the symbol. So this is a very simple matching question from paper 1 on electricity, matching the electrical component to its symbol. Next question, also from paper 1, physics question, the topic on Earth and beyond. So let's read the question together. Chen, Mike and Oliver write notes about the Earth and the Sun. Look at their notes. let's look at what Chen wrote. He said, the sun spins on its own axis. It takes a year to orbit the earth. Mike writes, the earth spins on its own axis. It takes a year to orbit the sun. Oliver wrote, the earth spins on its own axis. It takes a day to orbit the sun. Now, students are advised to read all the 3 notes carefully and then decide based on their knowledge. Only one is correct. Circle the name of the child who is correct. The earth spins on its own axis. Now let's see about the spinning on the axis. Yes, earth spins on its own axis. Oliver also is right. Earth spins on its own axis. Let's look at Chen's answer. The sun spins on its own axis. That is incorrect. So Chen is incorrect because of the first sentence. Now, so we have to compare between Mike and Oliver now. It takes a year to orbit the sun, which is 365 days. For Oliver, it takes a day to orbit the sun. So obviously the answer here is Mike, who wrote it takes a year to orbit the sun. So you circle the correct answer. Next question. Example of past year question, paper 1, biology question on the topic humans and animals. The body has many different organs. Angelic labels this diagram of different organs in the body. So let's look at the organs in the body. So the first one here is brain. Next one is heart, followed by liver, lung, kidney, intestine. Okay, one of the label is wrong. Which label is wrong? Obviously, this is the brain. We all know that. This is the heart. Students are to know all these parts. Liver, lung. Now, the kidney doesn't look right. The answer here should be stomach. So, the wrong answer here is the kidney. So, you write which label is wrong. So, you will write your answer kidney as the wrong answer. Moving on. Example of past year question. This is a biology question, a paper 1 question on plants. Flowering plants have a life cycle. Complete the stages in the life cycle. One has been done for you. So let's look out for which one has been done for me. This is the stage 1. This is stage 2. This is stage 3. Stage 4, right? Stage 4 here, there is a word written here which says fertilization. So fertilization has been done for you at stage 4. So we have to complete stage 5 and stage 6. Now using the words that is given here, the words given are germination, growth, pollination, self-dispersal and seed production. So the first answer over here, it is germination because you can see roots coming out from here. Now the second stage after germination is definitely growing. So it is the growth, followed by, you can see insects such as bees over here. So this one is the pollination with the pollinating agent. And fertilization has been done, followed by, this is seed production. Now after that, the last one is seed dispersal. So another question on biology, paper 1 type of questions. Now let's look at the chemistry past year question, paper 1, topic material changes. Changes to materials are either reversible or irreversible. For each of the following changes, decide if the change is reversible or irreversible. Tick the correct boxes. Students are required to know what is the meaning of reversible and what it means when we say irreversible. Now, reversible is a two-way thing, meaning if you have A, such as ice cube, you can melt the ice cubes and you can get water. Now, water, you can take water and you can freeze water and you can get ice cube. So it is a two-way thing. It's a two-way change. From ice cube, you can get water. From water, you can also change it to ice cube. That is the meaning of reversible. Now, irreversible means you cannot change it. Once you do a change, you cannot revert the change again. That is the meaning of irreversible. Now, let's have a quick look at the changes that is given here. Now, cooking rice. When you take rice grain and you cook it either on a stove or on a rice cooker, you know that the rice grain changes into rice that you can consume. But if you take the rice and you want to change it back to rice grain, that is not going to happen. So this change, cooking rice, is irreversible change. How about dissolving sugar in water? When you dissolve sugar in water, yes, sugar can dissolve in water, but you can also evaporate the water and you can find sugar being evaporated. Again, you can find sugar. So that change is reversible. Now, how about burning wood? If you take wood, a piece of wood, and you burn it, it will turn into ashes. If you take ashes and if you want to produce the wood again, that is not going to happen. That is irreversible. Now, how about evaporating salt water? Evaporating salt water is similar to dissolving sugar in water, whereby when you evaporate salt water, you can find salt again. Now, melting iron. Melting iron, yes, again, it is a reversible reaction. How about attracting a piece of steel to a magnet? What do you think? You have a magnet, you have steel. Yes, steel is attracted to magnets. You can remove it and you can put it back again. Alright, so this is reversible. Baking bread. You take bread dough and you bake it in your oven. When you have the freshly baked bread, you cannot turn it into a bread dough again. So that is irreversible change. Okay, an example of paper 1 chemistry question. Let's look at another question, a chemistry question also. A paper 1 question on the topic states of matter. Let's read the question together. Gasoline can exist as a solid, liquid, or gas. So you have got solid gasoline in a box over here and you've got an arrow saying process A and it is pointing towards liquid gasoline. When liquid gasoline has got an arrow pointing out from it, it says process B and it says gasoline vapor. And you have got gasoline vapor going into liquid gasoline and you've got liquid gasoline going into solid gasoline. Now the question says, what is the name of process A in the diagram? So the process A from solid changing into liquid, this process is known as melting. Then, what is the name of process B in the diagram? From liquid going into vapor, this process is known as boiling or evaporation. Next, question C. What is the name of process C in the diagram? Where is process C? Over here, I would strongly encourage students to read the questions carefully and look at the diagrams carefully, because usually we will look into process A, process B, and when you are coming again, you will take this as a process from gasoline vapor going into liquid. You can mistake this as a process C. So look carefully, where is the process C pointing towards, and label the name the process. Liquid gasoline going into solid gasoline. All right, so this one is known as freezing. Next, the last one. What is the name of process D in the diagram? From gasoline vapor going into liquid gasoline, this is known as condensation. All right, so we have done questions, paper 1 questions. All those that you saw just now are all paper 1 questions. Now you are going to look into past year questions for paper 2. And the question over here, first question, this is on physics. Let's read the question together. Carlos investigates light. Look at his apparatus. So have a look at the apparatus. It says light source, identify them, ruler, solar cell, and light meter. Here are some statements made by Carlos. What is each type of statement? Draw a line from the statement to the correct activity. So I suggest students read all the statements first before deciding to draw the line. I think the reading on the light meter will be higher when the light source is closer. The reading for 50 centimeter is 25 units. I should repeat each measurement 3 times. I should use the same light source each time. And look at the activity: collecting results, increasing reliability, making a prediction, and fair testing. Now let's go back to the statement. I think the reading on the light meter will be higher when the light source is closer. Now this is sort of like making a guess, so sort of like predicting something. So here, thinking of the light meter will be higher, the reading of the light meter to be higher, then this is the prediction. You are making a prediction. The reading for 50 centimeters, 25 units, that is data. So you are collecting results. I should repeat each measurement 3 times. So repeating it is you are increasing the reliability of the experiment. Lastly, I should use the same light source each time. So using same light source each time you conduct the experiment, you are looking to do a fair test. So this is physics, paper 2, question on light. Next, a paper 2 question also of physics. This is on sound. Chen investigates sound. Investigation 1. Look at the picture. So you look at the picture. It has got a table shown, a ruler, and the ruler has got A and B marked on the ruler. Chen hits his ruler on the table at point A. So he hits it at point A. He leaves the ruler on the table and listens to the sound it makes. Next investigation, investigation 2. Look at the new picture. Chen hits the ruler on the table at point B. He leaves the ruler on the table and listens to the sound it makes. Complete the sentence. Now, when you're doing the topic on sound, the first term that we should know is vibration. So the ruler makes a sound, or sound is made due to vibration. So the ruler makes a sound because it vibrates. Next, what happens to the pitch of the sound? Tick the correct answer. So read all the 3 options given. Pitch is higher in investigation 1, pitch is lower in investigation 1, pitch is the same in both investigation. Now we should know that if the ruler is shorter, then the vibration is faster. So the faster the vibration, the higher the pitch. If the ruler is longer, then the vibration is slower. The slower the vibration, the lower the pitch. So over here, what happens to the pitch of the sound? So we are looking into investigation 1 for both options. So the pitch is going to be higher because the ruler is shorter. Shorter ruler, faster vibration, pitch is higher. Now Chen hits the ruler on the table with more force. What happens to the loudness of the sound? Take the correct answer. So if you are going to hit with more force, it is going to increase the loudness of the sound. So take the correct answer. It's going to be increasing the loudness of the sound. Now moving on. Example of past year question, paper 2, biology. Now, Yusuf and Hassan are investigating how seeds grow. So, look at the diagram. It has got soil and water, seeds, and a plastic pot. Yusuf puts seeds in a plastic pot. Hassan adds soil and water. Look at their results after 3 days. So, I got to look at their results after 3 days, and I can see that in the second after 3 days that the root has grown on both the seeds. Hassan measured the length of one of the roots. So Hassan places the root on a ruler and he measures the length of the root. What is the length of the root in millimeters? So in millimeters, so if you can see it on the paper, you can see that it is 34 millimeter, but it could be 34 millimeter. If you can read in between the range of 33 to 35, then your marks will be awarded over here. All right, so you read it correctly, you draw a line, all right, to the scale on the ruler, and you can identify it as 34. Now, continuation of that question just now. Look at their results after 6 days. Describe 2 changes in the results compared to day 3. So we are comparing to day 3 where we saw a root was coming out just now. Alright. So compared to day 3, you can see that there is leaves here. The stems have also grown longer. And you have got the roots which has branched out even more. So describe the 2 changes. You can say the roots are longer, or you can say the roots have branched. Either one of the answer will do. The second change, you can see that there is a stem, or you can also say that there are leaves. So this is an example of past year question, paper 2, biology. Now let's have a look at an example of past year question, paper 2 for chemistry. Now Gabriella investigates the evaporation of water. She measures 100 centimeter cube of water and puts this into a beaker. And then she measures the time for all the water to evaporate. Gabriella repeats the experiment 3 more times. Each time she uses a different beaker. The surface area of water increases from beaker A to beaker D. So you have got Gabriella investigating about evaporation of water. How much of water? 100 centimeter cube of water. So she does this experiment for 3 more times. This is the first time in beaker A, then the next time in beaker B, 100 centimeter cube, third time in beaker C, also 100 centimeter cube, and fourth time in beaker D, also 100 centimeter cube. All right, so all 100 centimeter cube, the same amount of water. Okay, but what is different? the size of the beaker is different. They have already said the surface area of water increases because of the size has increased. So the surface area of water increased from A to D. Gabriela writes sentences in her book. Which of these sentences is a prediction? Tick the correct box. So let's read all the sentences before ticking the correct option. All 4 beakers start with the same volume of water. Okay. Yes, all 4 beakers started with the same volume of water, but we are looking to predict which sentence is a prediction. Beaker D will take the shortest time for all the water to evaporate. Okay. Evaporation is the process by which a liquid changes into a gas. Okay, it's a statement. How many days will it take for all the water to evaporate from each beaker? Okay, the water in the 4 beakers must be at the same temperature. Alright, now all this looks like you're doing the same thing. The last sentence here, you do the same thing for all the 4 beakers. But which one is a prediction? Even though the statements are correct, we are looking for a prediction. Beaker D will take the shortest time for all the water to evaporate. That is what Gabriela predicts. Which of these sentences is a piece of evidence that Gabriela must collect? So she needs to collect some data. Tick the correct box. All 4 beakers start with the same volume of water. Yes, they all started with the same volume of water, 100 centimeter cube. Beaker D will take the shortest time for all the water to evaporate. Okay, that looks like a gas. Evaporation is the process by which a liquid changes into a gas. A statement. How many days will it take for all the water to evaporate from each beaker? Okay. The water in the 4 beakers must be at the same temperature. Alright, that too looks like a same thing that you are doing to all the 4 beakers. Now, which of these is a piece of evidence that she must collect? So she has to collect a data. So this is what she's going to collect. How many days it takes for all the water to evaporate from each beaker. So she needs to take that information. Next one. Which 2 of these sentences will make the investigation a fair test? Tick the 2 correct boxes. Let's read all the statements. All 4 beakers start with the same volume of water. Okay. Beaker D will take the shortest time for all the water to evaporate. Evaporation is the process by which a liquid changes into a gas. A statement again. How many days will it take for all the water to evaporate from each beaker? It is like wanting to collect some information. The water in the 4 beakers must be at the same temperature. It's the same thing that you are doing. So in order to carry out a fair test, you must ensure that you are carrying out the same thing to all the experiments that you conduct. So let's check out the same thing that we have been doing. All 4 beakers start with the same volume of water. Yep, all 4 starts with the same volume of water. Next one, the water in the 4 beakers must be at the same temperature. Yes, we are doing the same thing for all the 4 beakers. Alright, so this is an example of a paper 2 question, past year question, and this is on chemistry. Okay. I hope that this video has been helpful in preparing you for your checkpoint science exam. Thank you and all the best.